All right, let's get into Sphere U2 talk. So some people were asking me why I waited until 3 p.m. to post on Sunday when I was there Saturday night. The reason is because it started 8:30-ish Saturday night, so that was already 11:30 in Atlanta, and that would have been a waste because they would have already disappeared.
I get that.
So I held on to it. And I've got a massive stream. You can see it right now on my Reels, also in the stories. It's all over my Instagram. It's at Barnesology. And I will say, describing it, you will get some good information from this about Sphere and about how it works, but you need to see it because seeing everything that was going on, it's mind-blowing and unlike anything you've ever seen before.
I wanted to ask about the different levels because in all of the articles I have been reading, the 200 and 300 level are actually the best seats.
I would argue with that. And that's what's interesting. It's only been open a week, so you're getting different opinions.
Okay.
In one of my reels, I actually show you what I'm about to tell you right now. So when you go into the reel, you'll see what I'm talking about. But you have the floor, and then you have 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
So we were in section 1, row 19, but the rows start at 12. So 12 is row 1, which is so strange. I don't know why they did it that way. But here's the rub. When you get to about row 23, 22 or 23 in section 1, and that goes way back, section 1 does, you look straight up at nothing but a black ceiling.
Oh.
So once you get past 22 or 23 row in section 1, you are looking up at a wall, and you'll see it. It's a ceiling right above you, and you can't see anything happening in the very top of Sphere.
Where were you sitting?
I was in the 100s. I was in 107 in row 19.
That's so weird. How would you know that going in?
So you don't. And so I got lucky, but I would say the best seats are going to be section 1 between rows 12 and 20. Those are the best because you can look up and you're close to the band. Look at my videos, again, Barnesology on Instagram. You'll see, and they look further away from the stage, but it's because I had it on super wide angle because I was trying to catch everything on the wall.
So I guess 200 and 300, it's really more about just the experience, right?
Yes.
And not really seeing the band. I get that now.
You nailed it. So 200 and 300, the way the arena is set up, it just goes sky high straight up, but sections 2 and 3 are further back. So you're not seeing the band close at all. They look like ants. I mean, it is not close.
Okay, so some friends of mine went opening weekend. They were on the floor, and they're saying sitting on the floor, you're kind of like straining your neck to look up at the visuals, but you also don't see what's happening on the stage floor.
Yes. So that's the rub with the floor is you're right down there, but the stage, it's a big record.
Yeah.
And there's nothing blocking your, like no speakers or things like that blocking you. But what is blocking you is the bottom of the stage. It must be, 10 or 12 feet high. So if you're on the floor, like you said, your neck is cocked back and you're trying to look up.
That's not fun.
But also, you're not seeing any of the effects except the ones directly behind the stage.
Right.
Because you would have your head looking straight up the whole time. So the venue does have its flaws. And also, I would say an asterisk by section 1 being the best. If you're far over right or left, it flares out. So you're way further away from the band. And you'll see, when you look at the videos, you'll see. But you want to hear a little bit of it?
Oh, please.
This is a 4D experience. So even the videos that you'll see don't do it justice because you're not really getting the same effect. There were times, Leslie, where it felt like the walls around the band were moving up and therefore the stage was kind of moving down, almost giving you vertigo, no pun intended, where you would have to sit down.
Okay, play this and then I have a question to ask you.
Okay, here's just some from the opening, and I have so many clips, I'm trying to remember what is what, but here's some of the opening. They come out, you know how U2, when they start their shows, it's usually nothing massive. They just kind of show up and start playing. Like Elevation, they started playing half the song with the lights up way back in the day here at Phillips Arena. But this, they just walk up the stairs and just start, he starts just singing.
The question I had, and you just brought it up earlier, I am worried that I might get that vertigo feeling because I have a thing about heights and then I start feeling vertigo-ish. Do you feel like that's probably going to happen?
Yeah,
I go see the show.
It's so intense that one point they do it for a big part of the song where the wall looks like it's moving. The entire walls of the whole arena feel like they're moving. They can make the walls look like anything, and they do often many times. Also, there's strobes on the towards the end of the show on the right and left that start also coming into play. So if you suffer from being affected, and then there's speakers in the seats. So and it's not the whole time, but it feels like your seat is being kicked by the person behind you. That's how much bass is coming through the seat.
Well, I heard about the seats too. Aren't you feeling some motion as well in the seats?
No motion in the seats. You're just feeling the push of the bass in certain moments. It's very well orchestrated. In the first two songs, nothing is happening, but the wall looks just like a cement wall. So they don't really come in and just go right at it.
Did you notice any glitches? Because I guess when my friend went, there were some glitches. They ended up doing With or Without You twice.
They didn't do that, but he forgot some lyrics in an Elvis song, and he was asking Edge to do a different key. Here's a part where they're doing, you see the part in all the press where they're doing Vegas, kind of like little clips of Vegas songs like Viva Las Vegas or whatever. And then the entire screen turns into Las Vegas, and it looks like the band is playing in a parking lot. So the resolution on this screen is so unbelievable. It is like something you have never seen. Imagine an IMAX on steroids, but wrapped around the entire thing. And people have their phones up the entire time, which you would expect. And because it's something like you've never seen. It's a complete spectacle. You have trust me, you have never seen anything like this.
I think it was Adam Clayton was talking about the Sphere and said, it's like U2's sort of in a fight with the visuals, but U2 wins. It's got to imagine them on this little stage and then this enormous sphere.
Well, it's not little, but it's so impressive.
But you know what I mean in comparison to the venue.
And they don't battle it. It's so much great synergy and in concert, no pun intended again, with the imagery and the music. For instance, here's a little bit of With or Without You, and you can hear Edge singing background. But this was when it got down to sand. So Vegas had deconstructed down to sand, and they start With or Without You, and it's pretty cool. Bono's doing his whole rock star thing the whole time. And he did his whole hands are tied with his hands and his wrists up. And then they did a whole section where they chilled down. My Way was part of it when they did like acoustic. Seriously, it's a massive sensory overload. And
how'd you feel after?
Oh, I mean, you just can't stop talking about it. You can't stop looking at your videos. And you can't stop looking at everything. I'm telling you, go look at my videos. If you have any questions, DM me if you're thinking about buying tickets. So it's just an incredible, incredible night.
I do have to ask you a question because my friend that went said that they bought like a couple of drinks, 2 drinks, and some Twizzlers, and it was like $70. Like $30 a drink?
I think drinks are like $30 to $33.
Wow.
Some of the food is reasonable at $17. I say reasonable because of where you are. But
right.
For the most part, you want to stay at the Venetian, although I really hate that hotel. It's like you're stepping in the 1982, but it is connected to Sphere, so you walk
makes it easier, I would imagine,
walkway.
right?
Yeah. It is what it is. Vegas is gross.
Well, listen, I mean, any place in Vegas is expensive, so just know that going into it.
Yeah, depends. Right. If you're a big gambler, then you might get some comps. But the fact that you can walk over and get in, they open the door. If you have these VIP tickets, which are out there to get, you get in a half hour early so you can walk around the venue and kind of get a feel, get your merch, get your food before all the, Gen Pop comes in. But I'm telling you, on the floor is a tough go of it. Because you're standing the whole time and you're not seeing what you think on the floor means.
I love that you're breaking it down for the people because I know a lot of people want to go. This is like a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I know they're talking about who could be next. There was rumors, McCartney was there opening night. Is it McCartney? Is it Harry Styles? I mean, it could be anybody.
If you have a chance, you have to do it. They're only doing 25 shows. It's unbelievable. Here is the very, very last bit of the last song.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. What a beautiful occasion this is. Thank you so much. Look at all these beautiful creatures, all native of Nevada, yeah? And all disappearing And we don't want to miss the beauty that's all around us. It's nice to look up, is it not? In this cathedral of Nevada life. It's beautiful. I think so.
Sounds so good.
So it especially that's from the phone. You're not hearing any of the bass. That they had all the species on the entire screen. I'm telling you, go look at the videos. Yeah, Barnesology on Instagram. You can see all of it there. You'll be going down a rabbit hole for a little while, but I tried to film every possible thing. You're welcome.
I felt like I was right there.
You feel like you're right there because you are in 4D. The Morning X in 4D.
The Morning X with Barnes and Leslie.